The country's unemployment rate of 27% is at its highest peak. This leaves the unemployed with little hope and the employed anxious about job losses. To find out about how to deal with this is performance coach Gilly Hoffman joining us in studio. Thanks so much for your time. Appreciate it. Now, people say that they are losing hope. Should people lose hope? I hope you say not.
They shouldn't, but it must be a conscious effort on their side not to lose hope, because I think it's very easy to go down that route with the highest unemployment rate, people waiting longer and longer to be re-employed, but they have to make a conscious decision about staying positive and bouncing back.
So the key is not to wait, to actively look for a job.
Yeah, I mean, one way of looking at it is to see it as your job is to find a job. So you must be active about it and go out and take some ownership and find ways to get back into the formal or informal employment market.
So how do you motivate yourself knowing that your chances are pretty slim?
I think the biggest thing is to take a lot of self-care initially before you get too negative or depressed. We know when you lose your job, you lose your sense of satisfaction and your sense of purpose. So it's very easy to go down the depressed route. But if you can immediately take self-care and surround yourself with good people and get some routines going and find some way of creating a plan to say, this is what I need to do this day or this week just to get my momentum going again, then it's easier.
I'm glad you mentioned people losing jobs because that's the next question I want to look into a bit more. Retrenchments is a huge reality in South Africa. Private companies, mining companies, government possibly thinking about retrenchments.
Yeah.
How do you deal with it once it happens to you?
I think people should have some form of game plan in the back of their mind already, to know you're in a certain market where there will be job losses in the next year or two, and to not be caught off guard when it does happen to you. I think most companies these days give you some form of warning, and you have to change your lifestyle and change your expectations. But I think there's also some opportunity in that to reevaluate and say, okay, what do I really want to do, and how can I prepare myself for the next time I am employed and not to be in the same situation again.
Well, then that's the question. How do you bounce back? What do you look into there?
Yeah, I think it's very easy to feel overwhelmed. So you must find a way to focus on the things that you can control, and not really rely too much on the things that you can't control. Otherwise, you won't get any easy answers. And those things are your mindset and your decisions you're making, the people you are allowing around you, and then going out and taking some action.
Well, that's the thing. What mindset do you need to have to actually deal with the disruption?
Yeah, well, I think resilience is very important. And you have to understand that in the end, nobody's going to make this happen for you apart from yourself. And you need to take that ownership and go out and do some things about it.
How do you remain positive in a disruptive economy? It's a difficult thing to do.
Yeah, I think it's very important to acknowledge to people close to you that you're in a bad spot and that they know that they can support you in one way or another. We have some friends who are very connected and they maybe have a few suggestions of where you can go and look. Other people are very supportive in practical ways and they would say, you know what, I can't give you any tips, but let's go for a walk every single day. And other people are very good at showing empathy and they can spend some time with you when you are in the low spaces. But if you keep this to yourself, because we are ashamed of this to a certain degree if this happens, then you won't get the necessary support you need at that stage.
And then just in terms of your retirement fund, I mean, when do you actually say, I need to tap into this to use it?
Well, I think that's a big decision. But the easiest question is to say, do I need this to live? If you don't have any reserves and you don't have any savings and you have payments at the end of each month, then it's not a big decision to make. Then it's pretty easy. But if you have some reserves, I would postpone that for as far as possible.
You've said so many negative things, which is a reality, but I still want to go back to the first question.
Yeah.
Can you be hopeful in this economy?
Yeah, so I think something that is very important is for people to understand that you don't necessarily have to get full-time formal employment immediately, and to go out and see if you can get some short-term employment or informal employment, and also to spend your time wisely to get some other form of education, maybe your training, or spend your time at an NGO where you are providing value to other people, and that gives you some sense of purpose again. So those are things that I think you can do that will just keep the momentum going, because it's very easy if you lose your job to just slow down immediately.
Yeah, so trying different fields perhaps as well to widen your expertise.
Yes, because I do think many people are in jobs where they aren't necessarily very happy or very engaged. And to a certain degree, apart from the economy, some people are losing their jobs because of that. And this is an opportunity to reassess and redefine what you really want to do. So the next time you get an opportunity, you're in the right frame of mind.
All right, thank you so much for your time. We do appreciate it.
Pleasure.
That was performance coach Gili Hoffman.